glad you could come, Marianne.
What smells so good?
Christmas leftovers. I've got enough to feed half of Kingsley.
Careful, you're encouraging my appetite.
I hope so, because Ben and Peter won't be joining us. It's just going to be you, me, and Lori for dinner.
Hey, where is Lori? I can't wait to see her.
She's up in her room. She's been there all afternoon.
Is she all right?
I wish I could say yes, Marianne.
Well, what's wrong?
She's showing signs of withdrawal again. Whatever she can't face, she blocks or avoids. She puts out of her mind completely. Like the night she was attacked, she still can't even remember it.
Well, if you'd like, I just come back later.
No. Lori needs all of her friends right now. Listen, I'm going to tell her that you're here.
You can't imagine how glad I am to see you.
Hi, Marianne.
I missed you.
Really?
Really? And if you want to know how much, just ask your mother. Because you weren't here to talk to, so I pestered her.
She was no bother at all, Lori.
You needed me, and I let you down, didn't I, Marianne?
No, you didn't let me down. You could never let me down. You're my best friend.
I want to be friends always. I guess I was afraid we weren't anymore.
Well, you can't get rid of me that easily. I won't let you.
Thanks.
Well, if you ladies will excuse me, I'm going to check on our dinner.
Do you need any help?
No, I don't think so. Everything's just about ready. I'll leave you and Lori alone to catch up on things.
All right. So, you cut your hair?
Yeah. You don't think it's too short, do you?
No, not at all. I think you look great.
Ben likes it now. He didn't at first. I had it done while I was at Mercy.
I wanted to visit you when you were there, but...
Oh, I know. I wasn't well enough to have visitors except for my family. But I'm all better now. Thanks to Dr. Diedrichson. He helped me, and all the nurses were real nice to me.
Well, I was praying that you'd have the best of care, and it looks like the Lord answered. Now, if he would just answer the rest on my list, all under the heading of Russ Weaver. You know, Russ is no longer Lester Lewis's assistant at Kingsley General. Lori?
I'm sorry, Marianne. What were you saying?
I was talking about Russ.
Russ, how is he? Mom told me that he lost his job at the hospital.
Yeah, that's right. But he's looking for a new one now.
Well, I hope he finds one soon.
So do I. Only I wish he could have worked for our company, but Gil wouldn't hear of it, and neither would Russ for that matter.
Because he'd rather work at a hospital?
No, because Gil and he don't get along. Actually, he is thinking about working for his father. Now, that is one job I hope he doesn't take.
Now, I'm going to give you one refill on the Parafon 40, Mrs. Armand. But I want you to come back when the Robaxin runs out, all right?
Okay, Dr. Phillips.
Here you are.
Thank you
All right.
so much. Say, I'll put in a good word for you with my friends.
Thank you, Mrs. Armand. Gunner.
Tell you as I live and breathe, for one time a rumor in this neighborhood turned out to be true. Chesterfield's free clinic's in business.
I own.
Dr. Phillips, I knew you were open, but I didn't know you had such a full house.
Well, I've been here since 7 o'clock this morning, and they haven't stopped coming yet. But I'm not complaining.
You know, we've needed this in this neighborhood for a long time, and I'm so glad that the Lord has seen fit to send us the right man. And you look like you know what you're doing.
Well, I thank you for that vote of confidence, but right now I could use an extra pair of hands.
You could.
Yeah, since, well, Ben, until he gets things squared away, I'm the only doctor in the house. And right now, I'd thank God if he'd send me a receptionist. At least the paperwork would get done quicker.
Oh, well, start thanking him.
What?
For that extra pair of hands. You can have mine if you want them.
Really? I own? What? You're an angel of mercy.
Oh. Well, you just tell me what you want now, and I'll get right on it.
Well, look, you could start by passing out these forms. I need them for every patient, for their medical records, all right? Well, that way at least I'll know who's here to see me and who's here because it's cold outside.
Get right on it.
Hey, Doc, listen, I got this cramp in my neck, and it hurts every time I turn my head like this. Can you do something for me?
Sure, come on in here, we'll take a look at it.
Okay, I've been sitting here for an hour.
All right.
Hey, sweetheart. Now, everything's going to be all right. Don't you worry one bit. Dr. Phillips is going to take good care of you.
I don't understand, Marianne. Why don't you want Russ to work with his father?
Because I'm afraid for him. I don't want him to get hurt.
Afraid? Russ's father wouldn't hurt him. He wouldn't.
Well, I know he wouldn't, but I'm not so sure about some of the characters he works with. Mr. Cardello is a very successful businessman, but I don't think he's come by all that success honestly.
We should be honest with each other. Everyone should be.
Yeah, Russ and I should be more honest with each other. I don't know how to cope with our relationship anymore. The fact that he isn't a Christian has really caused us problems. Isn't that what bothered you when you were dating him?
Oh, I don't know. It's been such a long time ago.
You know, your mother warned me about him.
Mom did?
Yeah, your mom did. Gil did. Everybody did. It's like everyone knew how confused I would end up.
I wish I could help you.
Lori, I love Russ. I can't help it. I feel the same way about Russ as you do about Ben.
Ben and I are very happy together. You can ask him and he'll tell you. Really.
I wish we could be more like you and Ben.
You don't believe me. You don't think I'm telling you the truth.
Lori, yes, I do. I only meant that, well, I always thought of you and Ben as the perfect couple.
Oh,
And I still do.
I must have misunderstood, Marianne. Forgive me.
Sure.
Dr. Diedrichson told me I have to learn to trust people again. Guess I'm not too good at it yet. I can trust you, can't I?
Yes, you can trust me, just like before.
Before what?
Well, before, well, you know, like when we used to go and have talks at your place, and you would tell me about your teaching, and I'd tell you about Russ, and then you'd tell me about Ben starting the clinic, and I'd talk about Russ.
We haven't gone back there yet.
Where?
Our condominium.
Oh, you and Ben aren't going to be living there anymore?
Well, we like staying here with Mom and Peter.
Oh, well, I don't blame you.
You don't really? You don't think it's foolish?
Well, no, it's safer here. I mean, we feel safer, you know, with our parents. Well, Dad always,
Marianne, excuse me, I have to go see if Mom needs me in the kitchen.
Oh, Dr. Phillips, here's the information on Mr. Rogers that you wanted.
Thank you.
And I'll get this other stuff in alphabetical order real soon.
How did you get that old man to fill this out? I've been trying to get him to do this since noon. And every time I checked with him, he told me it wasn't finished yet.
Maybe that's because he never started. You see, he doesn't know how to write, so I just filled it out for him.
Oh, no. And I thought I had an eye for sizing up people.
Oh, well, you're awfully busy. Besides, I've been knowing Mr. Rogers for a very long time. You know, that's why you ought to officially hire me as receptionist around here. I'd pretty much know anybody that would walk through that door.
Mrs. Redlin, you have a job.
Oh, thank you. You know, I've been asking the good Lord all week long to give me something to do with my extra time.
Well, I tell you, the clinic's going to be very demanding, Ione. I mean, we've only just started, and I've treated more patients in one day than I thought was humanly possible.
Well, you know something, Dave, you hit the nail right on the head. It isn't humanly possible to get all done around here that needs to be done. But you and I know we're not going to depend on human possibilities alone.
Now I see why you were voted Kingsley's Volunteer of the Year.
Oh, well, now, who told you that? It's been only a couple of months.
But Terry, when we were at her house Christmas Eve.
Oh, yeah, but, I've slowed down a little since then. You know, Babs and Miriam went to the house, and I felt I had to be there then, but they're gone now.
Oh, yeah. I remember Ben telling me about those two.
Yeah, I don't know when they'll come back. And now Jean and Carla plan to move out with Jimmy as soon as they can find their own little home. And I'd have just been stuck around there with nothing to do. God hadn't blessed me with this little job.
His own good timing, huh?
Oh, as always with him. Hey, now, I just thought of something. Dinner. What are your plans for tonight?
What? Well, I don't really have any.
Good. I'd be pleased if you have it with us tonight.
Oh, no, Ione, I couldn't oppose.
Oh, come on, you can say yes.
Well, I still have a lot of patients to see, and it would probably be very late.
Oh, we don't mind waiting. And if we get tired of waiting, we'll just put stuff on the back burner and keep it warm.
Well, all right, in that case, I'll accept.
Okay, good. Be looking.
It's out of our hands now. There's nothing we can do about how long they hold Monk and Hernandez before the trial.
I know the police system stops where the judicial one begins, but that intake officer could have recommended Monk's release to the custody of his parents. Now, this is his first offense, John.
Well, he picked a couple of beauties for his initiation. Theft and attempted rape. Both felonies.
All right, there's no getting by the theft. I understand that. They were both caught coming out of Monroe with all the video equipment in their hands. But now the rape charges never should have been pinned on Monk and Hernandez.
Yes, Counselor. Any more leading of the witness?
John, you can't be two places at the same time. Granted, they were in the building, but at the time that Lori was attacked, Monk and Hernandez were being chased in another part of the building, you remember, by Alex?
Yeah, I know. Why do you think I've been turning this town inside out trying to find a guy that got away that night?
Okay, suppose the rape charges were dropped. What kind of sentence would Monk and Hernandez receive then?
Well, that all depends on the judge, but I'll tell you something. Any kind of previous record is going to be seriously considered. True, Monk has never done business with us before, but Hernandez is famous down there at juvenile court.
So then the judge could go easier on Monk, right?
Yeah, possibly. Why are you so interested in this kid?
I don't know. I just guess Monk reminds me a little bit of myself.
Oh, well, maybe I should be armed the next time you come in to interview me, huh?
Oh, John, seriously, I can relate to the boy's anger and his background. When you come from a neighborhood like he does and you haven't had proper guidance, then that fight just has to come out some kind of way.
Well, Gene, for whatever it's worth, the M.O. that we got on the suspect that tried to rape Lori Martin has been up and down the state more than once, and I just don't think Monk and Hernandez have done that much traveling.
Hey, now that Lori is back...
What? Lori is back now?
Yeah, I saw her for Christmas Eve. John, you remember Mom told you she was going to be back for Christmas.
Yeah, no, I remember, you know, but I've been depending on Ben to let me know exactly when she was going to arrive. How do you like that?
Huh. Judging from what I have seen, I don't think Lori's going to be up for any kind of questioning.
Gene, this whole case depends on whether or not she can identify this guy that attacked her.
John, I don't think Lori's going to be identifying anything too soon.
Why not?
Lori is still a very frightened young woman. She doesn't even remember the night she was attacked.
Okay, I'm coming.
Terry, I need to talk with you.
Nancy, we've got a guest over for dinner.
Oh, who?
Mary Ann's here to visit Lori.
Lori's home from hospital?
Yes.
Oh, well, I better say hello to my favorite niece.
No, not now, Nancy. I don't want anyone to upset her.
Upset her?
Yes. Now, do you mind telling me why you stopped by?
Yeah, I came to tell you what that stupid hospital that you work for has done to me.
What's that?
They've hired a collection agency to harass me. I mean, they're adding mental anguish to physical abuse now.
Is this about your unpaid hospital bill?
I don't have $20,000 to shell out.
Well, Nancy, the hospital doesn't expect you to pay the bill all at once. Well, the installment plan is very reasonable.
Reasonable? I mean, do you consider taking my entire paycheck every week reasonable?
Look, if you could just make a small payment towards the...
I couldn't if I wanted to. I can't until I get my jewelry and sell it.
Well, when's that going to be?
I don't know. You know, whenever Tab goes to prison for stealing it. I just hope the judge gives that guy what he deserves.
Tab's case has been postponed again? What is this, 2 times?
3 times.
Look, Nancy, I don't know how the court works, but there's got to be some way for you to get your jewelry back.
Oh, forget it.
Well, couldn't the prosecuting attorney talk to the defense attorney and work something out?
No, they're all crooks.
Look, Nancy, you need money. What about the house? Have you changed your mind about selling your half?
Oh, I should have known that you'd bring that up.
Well, the Redlands are still interested in spite.
I said no, I don't want to, and especially not to those people.
Then do you mind telling me how you're going to pay your bills?
Yeah, actually, that's why I'm here. I know, Terry, that you live within a strict budget, and I know, especially with Peter in college now, that
Well,
that's
we're
what-
managing all right, but Nancy, if you came here to ask me for more money, then forget it. The answer is no again.
No, I wasn't going to ask you. If I remember correctly, Scott left you some insurance money, didn't he? And I know that the interest alone must be worth a bundle now. I mean, it's almost a year. And I've already checked out Mother's policy, and that was only a medical thing. But I was thinking with Scott's money...
Nancy, get out.
Terry.
I want you to leave.
For heaven's sakes,
Just leave now.
Well, if that's the way you feel about it. Have a Happy New Year.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey. What's for dinner?
Oh, I thought you had something else besides dinner on your mind.
Yes. What's on television?
Oh, Gene.
I was only kidding. I was only...
Since you're so eager for dinner, here, you can set the table.
All right. I will set the table. Hey, where's Mom?
Oh, she'll be back soon. She has some visiting to do.
Oh, speaking of visiting, you know, I did a little of that myself this afternoon. You remember that kid I told you about, the one that was picked up at Monroe the night that Laurie was attacked?
You mean Monk, but weren't there two of them?
Yeah, Hernandez was the other guy. Yeah. I talked to John Brubaker about Monk's release. Carla, I really want to help that kid. A good home would just do a lot for him right now.
Well, you tell that to Laurie. You saw how she is.
Carla, those kids couldn't have attacked her.
Carla, is anybody home? Now, don't nobody get too excited. Guess what?
What have you gone and done now?
Oh, I haven't done anything. The Lord did it for me. Got myself a job.
A job?
I sure have. I'm going to be the receptionist down at that free clinic that Dave Phillips and Ben Martin.
Mom, now look.
Oh, now, Jean, don't you say a word. I just know you're happy for me.
You know I don't want
Carla,
you...
honey, now, do you have enough food for another mouth? I invited Dave Phillips. I hope you don't mind.
No, Mama. No.
Oh, that's wonderful. I knew you wouldn't, honey. Now, I want to see if there's anything else I can add. I want it to be awfully special.
Hi. I almost forgot.
Hello?
Miss Davidson?
Well, hi, Sergeant. How are you?
Oh, fine, fine. Listen, I need to speak to Ben. Is he there?
No, he isn't. He went back to the hospital.
The hospital?
Yes, to set up a new schedule. He's planning to return to work soon.
Oh, that sounds good. I guess his hand's feeling better, huh?
Well, the therapy seems to be helping, but Dr. Egan has warned Ben that he may regain only 70% use of his hand.
Oh. Listen, do you have a number for him there at the hospital?
Well, I can give you one for one of the nurses' stations, but it may be a while before they can track him down. Is there anything I can help you with?
Well, maybe you can. Gene Redlin was over here at my office this afternoon. He mentioned that your daughter was home now.
Yes, she is. Thank the Lord.
I'd like to talk to her as soon as possible. Listen, I realize that she doesn't remember everything about that night. And I still think I can get a good lead if I could just see her.
Sergeant, not only has Laurie shut out the night she was attacked, she can't remember anything leading up to it either. The doctors aren't certain she'll ever remember.
I'm sorry. I didn't know.
It was so horrible that she just can't face it.
Listen, Mrs. Davidson, I understand, but sooner or later, I'm going to have to talk to her. Could you have Ben call me?
Yes, I'll tell him. But, Sergeant, do you think it could wait until after the holidays, after New Year's?
Well, of course. Absolutely. Thank you very much, Mrs. Davidson. Bye-bye. Oh, no, not again.
Do I have to tell you why I'm here, Sergeant Brubaker?
I really wish you wouldn't.
I want
my jewelry back.
Well, what are you doing about it?
Well, what can I do? It's still evidence.
Evidence? Evidence? That's all I ever hear from you. I think you're just dragging your feet on this thing like Tab's lawyer.
Wait a second. I think I've got some news on this, and it just came in this morning. That's right. Tab's lawyer won another postponement.
Another one? I mean, this is the 4th time.
This could go on for months.
You gotta be kidding me.
With you, never.
I bet you were in on this postponement, weren't you?
No, please, easy on the credit.
Well, I'm going right to the prosecutor. I'm going to tell him what's going on here.
Well, the prosecuting attorney is out of my jurisdiction.
Well, I'm going to go to whoever's in charge here, the top dog, and I'm going to tell him just what lousy work you do around here, Brubaker.
You know, the captain's office is right down at the end of the hall on the left on your way out. Oh, no, Mrs. Lawson. He knows what lousy work it is. He used to be a sergeant himself. Grab your gun and get your...
The way she handled everything, Gene, I don't know what I would have done without Ione today.
Boy, Mom hasn't stopped talking about that clinic since she got home. Isn't that right, Carla?
I'll say. You should see her in the kitchen. She's turning this dinner into some sort of feast in honor of her first day on the job.
Well, my first day at the clinic, well, we only had one patient. I'll never forget his name, Blue Nobles. But I didn't even get to treat him. Alex did. But I was on top of the world.
Oh, boy. First day at the clinic, first patient. You know, that sounds like that would make an interesting feature for the Chronicle.
Well, the clinic can use the publicity. We're going to need all the help we can get to help promote it. Well, we're in operation, but we haven't had our official opening yet. And, well, we're going to need the big money to keep it going.
You know, I'd like to keep the angle more on the patient. This Blue Nobles, who he is and what he does and why he came.
That sounds great. And I'll give you all the information you need.
Hey, great. Thanks.
We'll do it.